What if the future of humanity isn't on another planet, but hidden beneath the ocean? That sounds impossible. Yet 71% of Earth is covered by water, and most of it sits completely unused. An entire world exists below the waves. So why aren't we living there already? The answer is terrifying. If you dove just 150 meters underwater without proper equipment, your lungs would shrink dramatically under the pressure. Your veins could collapse. Every inch of your body would feel squeezed by forces powerful enough to crush steel. And that's only the beginning. But here's the strange part. Those dangers don't make underwater cities impossible. They just force us to think differently. Instead of massive underwater metropolises, imagine small ocean communities. A few thousand people living inside connected modules made of steel, glass, and reinforced concrete. Not on the ocean floor, but suspended around 100 meters beneath the surface. The question is, how would anyone survive down there? The first challenge isn't food. It's air. Every breath would depend on life support systems working perfectly around the clock. Oxygen levels, temperature, humidity, everything would need constant monitoring. And this is where it gets weird. The safest underwater city might not rely entirely on machines. It could grow its own oxygen using underwater agriculture. Entire gardens producing the air people breathe. A city creating its own atmosphere beneath the sea sounds unbelievable. But that's not even the craziest part. Once the oxygen problem is solved, another question appears. How do you power an underwater civilization? Running extension cords from land isn't exactly practical. At first, solar panels on the surface could transmit electricity below. But eventually, underwater cities might generate their own power using ocean waves. Massive underwater turbines could transform endless movement into endless energy. Sounds perfect. Except survival isn't powered by electricity alone. People need food. And here's where expectations flip completely. Most people imagine underwater residents surviving on packaged emergency rations forever. But living beneath the ocean places an enormous food source directly outside your front door. Fresh fish, seaweed farms, aquaculture systems. An underwater city could become one of the most efficient food-producing environments on Earth. What happens next changes everything. Because the biggest challenge isn't oxygen, energy, or food. It's psychology. Imagine waking up every morning knowing hundreds of tons of water surround your bedroom walls. Every creak, every vibration, every unusual sound suddenly feels important. Then imagine hearing an alarm. A tiny crack appears in a window. Water begins forcing its way inside. Suddenly, the ocean isn't your neighbor anymore. It's your enemy. And that's when things changed. The dream of underwater living transforms into a constant battle against disaster. Every resident would need emergency training. Every family would need oxygen tanks. Every neighborhood would need evacuation submarines ready at a moment's notice. But the biggest twist is still ahead. Here's the shocking part. Almost everything needed to build an underwater city already exists. The materials exist. The engineering exists. The life support technology exists. In fact, humans have already spent extended periods living beneath the sea. The current record stands at over a month underwater. So if the technology is ready, why aren't underwater cities everywhere? Because technology isn't the real obstacle. Risk is. One life support failure could turn an entire habitat into a trap. One structural weakness could unleash catastrophic flooding. Unlike cities on land, mistakes underwater leave almost no margin for error. But here's the strange part. Companies and researchers are actively exploring the possibility of permanent underwater communities right now, which means humanity may eventually face a choice. Expand into space, or expand into the ocean. Most people assume the future lies among the stars. Yet the largest unexplored frontier on Earth is sitting directly beneath us. An alien world hidden in plain sight. And this is where it gets really unsettling. If underwater cities become safer, cheaper, and more sustainable than building colonies on Mars, the first truly futuristic civilization might not rise into the sky at all. It might disappear beneath the waves. The ocean covers most of our planet. We barely understand it. We barely explore it. So what if humanity's next home isn't somewhere far away, but somewhere we've been looking at our entire lives?